You've just wrapped a great shoot. The lighting was dialed in, the delivery was sharp, and your creative momentum is peaking. Then you sit down at your computer to edit, and the momentum instantly dies. Because instead of actually cutting footage, you are forced into an upload and wait cycle. You drag your video files into a browser window and watch a progress bar crawl along as your media is slowly piped out to a remote cloud server. Once it finally uploads, the friction only gets worse. Applying a simple cut or a color filter means pinging that server again. Trying to process heavy 4K files this way leads to slow render times, frozen playback screens, and crashing browser tabs. The traditional cloud editing architecture puts a sluggish, unpredictable server queue between your creative intent and your final export, derailing your focus. Even worse, these cloud platforms effectively act as gatekeepers for your own work. They take your unreleased footage and hold the final rendered export behind aggressive premium paywalls. If you try to bypass the subscription, the platform stamps a massive watermark right over your hard work. And technically, to even reach that point, you had to expose your private, unedited media to a third-party server network. Creators are trapped in a broken transaction. You are forced to surrender your absolute privacy and project ownership just to access basic timeline tools. The Prime Tool Hub Turbo Video Editor solves this by eliminating the cloud entirely. Instead of sending your files out to a server, this suite pulls the editing engine directly into your web browser, executing everything natively right on your own hardware. Using WebAssembly, the editor loads an FFmpeg processing core right into your machine's temporary memory. Through a secure technique called shared array buffer, the engine divides complex editing tasks across multiple CPU cores at the exact same time. Processing in parallel renders media files 4 times faster. This specific architecture upgrades your standard web browser from a simple viewing window into a full-scale, multi-threaded rendering engine. When you hit the trim tool or apply a full video reverse, the action executes natively on your machine. There are no loading screens and zero server lag to wait through. If you need to distribute a heavy file, the Turbo Compressor instantly shrinks the bitrate down to a manageable size, making it easy to drop directly into Discord or WhatsApp. Applying color correction is equally responsive. Adjust the brightness, tweak the contrast, boost the saturation, and the visual updates immediately in a live preview. Because the processing is handled entirely by your own hardware, Prime Tool Hub imposes no artificial file size caps. Your only capacity limit is the amount of RAM available on your local computer or phone. You get access to over 20 professional-grade tools, running with the raw power of installed desktop software without ever staring at a loading screen. To operate this high-speed, multi-threaded engine safely, modern web browsers enforce a strict security protocol known as cross-origin isolation. Cross-origin isolation creates a digital quarantine around your active tab. It mathematically prevents external tracking scripts or third-party connections from communicating with your workspace. Because this environment is strictly offline by design, the video file you're editing never touches the internet. This hardware-level isolation ensures absolute privacy. Whether cutting sensitive corporate presentations, unreleased client projects, or personal family recordings, the data stays in your local memory. The Prime Tool Hub has also removed the final barrier to entry. There are 0 accounts to create, no email signups, and no registrations required. And because of that required cross-origin isolation, the environment completely blocks third-party advertisements, giving you a 100% distraction-free workspace. You don't have to tolerate the artificial delays of a cloud server queue anymore. Now it is officially time to reclaim your workflow and take back total control of your editing schedule. Launch the Prime Tool Hub Turbo Video Editor completely for free right now and experience the pure speed of local media editing.